Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I am going to do a reading on the I call them the Orange Menace's Barbie Brigade. These blonde-headed young women who basically are willing to basically die on this certain particular mountain. And I want to find out about the energy of these people. So I decided instead of using the Royale, I'm going to use the Gilded Tarot again. This is the deck that I started really working with, and I really love it. And it looks like I have put it back in the tarot order, so I have to really give it a good mix and see what we can see what we can do with it. But yeah, I decided that I was going to do that because I really haven't used these cards in a while because I love the Gilded Tarot Royale so much. But I may do another reading on with them. But for now, I'm going to do the Gilded Tarot. That's the deck that I really just started working with when I really started doing readings because it just seemed to be gelling with me. It seemed to work with me, and I just thought, okay, I haven't used this deck in a while, so I'm going to use it again. Again, it's by Ciro Marchetti. It's a really good deck. I really like it. I really like the imagery on it, and it helps tell a story, basically. I am basically one of the people who actually follows energy. That's what my energy tells me. I look for keywords when I need them. Like if I can't remember something or if my mind goes blank, then I look for the keywords to see, for each card. And if I find the keywords and I think, oh, that's it, and then I know what's going on. And I think that's the loudest I've ever snapped my fingers in my life. And probably didn't come through, but I have a thing in one of our flute pieces where I have to snap my fingers and I don't get any sound out because I do it, but it just you don't hear anything because it's not loud. And my choir director, he gets up there and he just snaps his fingers like, and it's like it's so loud it just resonates in the entire hall. It's like, how does he do that? Well, so anyway, so let me get back onto the energy of the um the Menace's Blonde Barbie Brigade, what I just call them because, for lack of a better term, I don't want to use their names. I don't really like these people. Their energy is, ugh, that kind of thing. So, but let's see what the cards have to say about these blonde, or just these women in general who follow him and are willing to, they're willing to basically betray all other women just to push their demented ideologies, if you will. I'm trying not to put my own personal opinions about this in there, but it's very difficult because everybody has opinions about these people, and everybody, and most of the people I talk to think that these women betray women. They betray femininity. The um, they betray you know women's lib, if you will. I don't really. God, it sounds 70s, isn't it? That sounds like where I'm, from my generation, But women's lib, they're just betrayals and they're young. And what's really really sad is that these women are probably younger than I am, and yet they are so willing. This is the hill they're willing to die on. So let's get into the energy of this and let's see what the cards have to say about these particular individuals. Good. We have the Seven of Cups, which is chaos. I mean, this is the chaos that they are being drawn into. This is the chaos that they are creating. They're enabling all the chaos that's being done. They're enabling it. So this is their, this is the hill they're willing to die on. This is the chaos that they have sown, and the chaos that they are enabling. And it's crossed by the Strength card. Well, this is all the things that are going up against them. Like yesterday at the hearing when Jasmine Crockett comes out and when Jared Moskowitz comes out and they just hammer this person. They just hammer this bleachy blondie individual. They just hammer her. And this is the backlash. This is what these people are going up against. They're going up against the strength of the people and against the strength of what the people believe with regards to what's going on. I think that this is very, very strong. I think this is very powerful. The strength that I saw yesterday was not from the individual testifying. it was through the questions that were being raised and through the people who were having the courage to get up and to basically go up against this person head to head. Another person that comes to mind is Jamie Raskin. Oh, I like Jamie Raskin. I may do a reading on him because I want to see if he's going to one day become president. Because I think Jamie Raskin is one of my favorite people in Congress, and he is so razor edge smart, and he knows what's going on. He knows the Constitution like the back of his hand. It's like he's been reading it backwards and forwards, and he probably has a pocket edition in his back pocket. This guy is so really, really smart, and he brings receipts whenever he talks. And I think that that's what these people are up against. They're up against this really razor edge smart people who know their stuff. The underlying energy is the Queen of Swords. This is again the feminine energy. This is not them. This is the people, the women who are smart enough to get away from this. And I think, and as much, and I did a few months ago, I did a reading on Marjorie Taylor Greene and what her future looked like. And her energy is, she's one of the most confusing, complex people I've ever read on, but she is the one who broke away from all of this stuff that's going on, and she is the embodiment of this younger, blonde haired, just willing to go on that hill and die on that hill for this person. But when she found her calling, she broke away from that, and so now she's gone. I mean, she's no longer a part of the Congress, and but she still is speaking out about what she feels and what she believes. And I may not like her, or trust her, I may not think that she's all that, but at least I can say that she's broken away from this brigade of blonde women who are going around trying to defend the indefensible. And so I think this Queen of Swords is like people like Jasmine Crockett. It's people like Camilla Jayapal, I think is her name. I think it's people like those who are women who are willing to go up against this other woman and say, look, you're a traitor to femininity. You're a traitor to these victims and these survivors of this form of abuse. You are a traitor to this. And that's what and that's what I think is going on. I think that's what's being told, is that these people are actually coming out and they're saying, yeah, this person is, they're calling a spade, basically. My husband's in the other room listening to The Great Big Sea, which I love. They're a group out of Newfoundland. So, spade a spade. That's a lyric from them. In the immediate past, you have the Fool. And this is really them stepping off this cliff and hoping that somebody's going to catch them as they come down. But the reality is, so many of them have lost everything. I'm thinking of this other woman who lost her law degree, or she was practicing law, and she took part in this thing in Georgia, and she was prosecuted, or she was indicted, and she gets in front of the judge, and she just starts crying. Oh, I didn't know, and I was doing everything I was supposed to do, and yada yada yada. And it was just like crocodile tears to the max. And that's what I'm seeing. That's what's in the immediate past is this. But what I'm seeing basically is all these women in like 2, 3, 4 months or whatever, however much time it takes, and they're all just sitting there with like, and they're crying and they're whining and they're complaining and they're going, I was doing everything I was supposed to do and then nothing went right and all this. So that's what I'm seeing. That's the image that I'm seeing, really, of all of them. They're coming out and they're going, I was just trying to do my job, and it's like, this is like the oldest excuse in the book. Back in 1940s, 1950s, when they were doing the Nuremberg trials, that's what their excuse was too. Their excuse was, I was just doing my job. No, you have to stand up, and you have to have a spine. That's, if your job tells you to do something unethical and do something that's wrong, then you say, no, I can't do that. It's unethical. It's wrong. But these women are not doing that. They're just folding like a house of cards, and they're saying, okay, I'll do it. And then 3 months down the road, you're going to see them sitting in a courtroom, and they're going to be bawling their eyes out because they messed up. The overarching energy is the Ten of Wands. This is the burden that they carry. So this is really the cards are really talking. They said this is the burden that these folks are carrying. These women are carrying this massive burden because they are doing. I just washed my hair. It's like they are doing everything that they're being told by the big fat orange problem, and then all it's doing is adding burden to them. They're finding that they're trying to appease the monster, and yet they are making monsters out of themselves, and they are adding to their burden. It's like everyone has a cross to bear, and their crosses are getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's getting more and more loaded down. It's becoming more and more difficult for them to continue. And the interesting thing is what draws me to this card in particular is the moon here. Now I know that there's an eclipse coming up, and that a lot of astrologers are saying that this is going to be like a really big deal, and that this is going to be like massive. But the tens are like the endings and the beginnings. Okay, the tens are like the ending of a cycle. And look here, you got this moon. Now it looks like it could be a full moon, or it could be an eclipsing moon. Not really sure, but what this tells me is that they're going to actually come to a realization that something is just not working, and this is going to be very, very difficult for them. So this is the overarching energy. This is like what's laying, putting putting this stress onto them. And I just looked at the Fool card, and look at here, another moon. There's another image of a moon in here. So the moon, even though we're looking at a solar eclipse, the moon has an impact on that because it is the shadow of the moon, or the moon itself, that goes in front of the rays of the sun or something. I'm not really sure. I'm not an astronomer. I don't really know, but something about the moon just kind of stands out to me on this, that something is going to break. If this next card is the moon card, I'm going to be like totally freaked out. But at any rate, this is the overarching energy. This is the burden that they are under. In the immediate future, you're going to love this. The Nine of Swords. This is sleepless nights. This is, really just worry. And here again, the moon. So at nighttime, the idea of there's a burden that these people are under, that they are contending with, that they are faced with. And this nine of swords is nearing a completion. But still, they're not able to sleep. They are under a great deal of strain. They're a great deal of stress, and it's coming, and it's going to continue to come. Because the more that they lie to cover up for this person, the more trouble they're going to find themselves in. And one fine day, the big fat orange problem's going to be walking through the pearly gates, maybe, and he is going to not be here to protect them. And then all hexkey is going to break looseski for them. They are going to be under some serious legal problems when that happens. A lot of these people that are in this regime are going to be under these problems. When he falls off the twig, as Libby says, then all of these people who are doing these things, and they're doing some pretty awful stuff, they are all going to be answering for what they've done. And he's not going to be there to protect them from the system. Internally, we have the Wheel of Fortune. This is all coming together with choices. What choices you get determines your fate. What you decide to do will determine your fate. And here's the moon again. The moon is in the card, these pictures, these images. Something about the moon is standing out to me here, because I've had 1, 2, 3, 4 cards with the moon somewhere in the image. somewhere in the image, the moon card is there. So what's going on internally? This is, you know, your karma coming back. This is the karma of these people coming back. Okay. Okay. But this is the karma coming back. And this is going to bite them on the hindquarters, if you will. So that is what's internally going on. Externally, we have the Four of Cups. They're being handed stuff right now that is, you know, they're I think that I see this as sort of a lackadaisical kind of energy that's going on. They're being handed a lot of malarkey, as Joe Biden would say, and they are accepting it as true, even if it's not true. And so this is what they're doing, and they're thinking they're going to get by with it, that everything's going to be okay, that they're going to be able to, they're going to get away with it. But the reality is that the truth is going to come, and this card kind of emphasizes that truth. And basically, they're being handed something and they're ignoring it. They're being handed a way out. All they have to do is tell the truth, and they don't want to do that. They don't want to tell the truth. But what the truth is going to set them free is what the deal is. The truth will set you free, but they do not want to accept that truth. They just want to la 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 la, and then attack, 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 and lie, 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 and obfuscate, 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 and then hope that everything's going to be okay. But this is what they are. This is what they are doing. Um, Their hopes and fears is the Ace of Wands. And the aces are beginnings. They are the beginnings of everything. So when you have the beginning of a cycle, you have that uh, you have that start of something. And here again, the moon is showing up. I don't know what it is. Ciro Marchetti has a lot of cards with moon on them, but I keep seeing the moon. I keep seeing the moon, and the moon is. I think it's going to, and I think this is. I really do think that this has something to do with the eclipse. I think that the eclipse is going to catalyze something that's going on. And I'm not an astrologer. I'm not into astrology at all. I watch Hogarth's channel because I love his descriptions of astrology and about the things. And he makes it easy to understand. But for the most part, I'm not an astrologer. I don't really understand astrology very well. But the moon keeps showing up in these cards, and it keeps really just hammering home this idea that that the aces are a start of something new, that they are going to be in a position where they have to start something new, where there's going to be something new coming up. Now, I'm being drawn to look at the book for the Ace of Wands, and I want to see what the book says with regards to the Ace of Wands, because something just feels really, really, really empowering about the Ace of Wands. Okay, let's see. I don't know why. I do not know why I am being drawn to this, but I have to see. Okay, so what it says here is all of the aces represent new beginnings, but wands are also in initiators. So this card represents a dynamic and driving energy force. Note the fire blazing from the magical ornate wand suspended in the sky. A pair of male hands appears to nurture the wand tentatively, almost reverently, reaching towards it. It represents the beginning of action and taking initiative, being creative in enterprise, the birth of new ideas and inspiration, and can also represent the seed of a new life. Well, one of these people is claiming to be pregnant. So is this about that? Could be. But the thing is, I keep thinking of the moon. I keep being drawn to the moon. At any rate, let's see what the final outcome on this is, because this is really, really getting interesting. Final outcome. You can't make this up. Five of Cups. This is heartbreak, disappointment. So everything that these people are doing, everything that they are trying to do, will end up heartbroken. They will be. I keep seeing the image. I keep seeing them sitting in a courtroom and crying. They are sitting in a courtroom and they are crying. I just keep seeing that. And I mean, we're not talking just crying, like acting and playing like you're trying to win an Oscar. I mean, ugly crying. I am seeing them in my mind's eye, ugly crying because they screwed up. And these cards are pretty adamant about it. They have made a mistake. They have hitched their wagon to the wrong. They have hitched their wagons to the wrong horse. They have basically just hitched their ride to the wrong bet on the wrong horse. That's what I was looking for. They bet on the wrong horse. And I think that is absolutely what's happening. And I think that is what is going to come up. So it's nice to be able to use these cards again. I hadn't used them in a while. And so I usually do 2 readings. But this video has kind of gotten a little bit long and I have to make lunch. My husband's like saying, I'm hungry. I want to eat. So, but there was something I wanted to tell you about that is really, really kind of crazy, but I couldn't remember it either. So, at any rate, um, um, I wanted to say something with regards to the energies that I have been feeling and what I have been picking up on. And what I have basically been feeling is that things are going to get better, but there's going to be a road ahead that's going to seem very, very dark and very difficult. But once we get past that, I mean, it's like in the reading, I kept seeing the moon. The cards with the moon kept coming up. The cards that emphasized, this new beginning, this new start, that's coming up. So, um, we're wondering why women you know, are feeling like they have to defend the indefensible. But look at all of the women who are standing up and who are doing what they can to ensure that things get better for other people. So, I mean, it's not just the good people like the monks and the Bad Bunny and there are women around the world who are standing up for the rights of people, and we need to recognize that. And we need to see that not all white women my age, 55, maybe a little bit younger, maybe a little bit older, that we're not, we haven't forgotten about injustice or where we came from and what we, are doing. Um, a lot of times people tend to say that it's a certain ethnicity or it's a certain group or it's a certain, ideological base or this, that, and the other that is creating all this problem. It's not. It's just there is a sociological shift that's happening right now. And I think Dr. Lena talks about this too as a sociologist. She understands how societies, through sociological uh, actions and reactions and things, how that impacts, um, how that is impacted by what she gets when she reads cards. So, I mean, we use our experiences when we do this, and we try to get it right. But that's why we say for entertainment only. This is for entertainment only. We are doing this. Readers are doing this to see if we can shed some light on something that otherwise wouldn't be discussed or wouldn't be focused on. So that's all I wanted to say about that. But I think that, by reading on these people, we have a better understanding of why it is that they react or do what they do. And maybe it enables us to better address these issues with a loving heart as opposed to just getting angry about it, because that's what the other side is doing. That is what they're doing. They're using anger and hostility as a way to, as their armor. And when Bad Bunny said love, love counters hate, basically, then that is what, that's his message, that we need to use love as a way to counter the hate that's going on in the world. And I'm hearing something in my mind that feels like the energy of Fred Rogers basically affirming that. So he's not saying anything, but he's kind of affirming that. So there's like that feeling of affirmation there that love is the strongest power that there is, and that in order to overcome all the hate and all the prejudice and all the wrongdoings that's going on in the world, we have to counter with love, and that's what the guides are telling us. That's what the energy is telling us. That's what we're basically um, feeling empowered to do. So that's all I got for you today. I hope you have a wonderful day. I will be back hopefully tomorrow if I get inspired to do another reading. I've been doing the readings and I've been trying to listen to my guides as I do them, because I really want to try and get away from using the books and using the other tools to, to read the cards. I want to try and listen to what my guides tell me in order to do that. And each time I do it, I feel a little bit more of a flow going on. So I'm learning the cards slowly and surely. I mean, there are still cards that I don't really know all the hidden meanings behind them and stuff like that, which is why I have to go and find the book, and I have to look at the book and see what see what the cards are telling me and stuff like that. So, I mean, there are cards that come easier, like the Ace of Swords, and which is the Sword of Truth, that kind of thing. So it's like, as it goes, as I go along with the tarot and learning the cards, I'm getting a little bit better, and I'm doing this all by myself. I'm not going into any classes or anything like that, because I want to learn to read the cards in my own way. And if I use somebody else's ways of doing it, then I feel like I'm denying myself the opportunity to really listen to my guides and home in on what the guides are telling me to do, as opposed to what somebody else says. Oh, well, this is what this card means, and this is how you should read it. I mean, a lot of people can learn that way, and I think that's great. And I'm not knocking that, but for me personally, I want to learn the cards in my own way so that I can tune in with my guides and what they're telling me, as opposed to having someone else tell me what their guides think I should do. And it's kind of like going to the third party type of thing to determine, you know, how to read them. So I'm trying to wean myself off of using the books and using the cheat sheets and stuff like that. But it's very, very difficult because there are 78 cards in the deck, and I still have a lot to learn. So that's my progress report on that. So I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching. And again, this is for entertainment only, and I'm only doing this just because it's fun and I enjoy doing it. And if I really was out wanting to like get lots and lots and lots and lots of subscribers and lots of money from this, which I'm not getting anything because I don't really want anything for it. I just want to do it because I want to practice and learn. Um, so there you go. So have a wonderful day. Take care. And if you're watching the Olympics, keep the athletes in your thoughts, and hold them in the light, especially those who have been injured. So I feel a kinship to them, and I hope that they recover and get better soon. So take care, and as always, namaste.